And if you'd like to take a sip of your cacao to seal this in, please do so. Flutter your eyes open, let the light in. So, I don't know about any of you, but this particular time or phase of life, whatever might be happening up in the stars or planets or whatever, has felt pretty intense. Has anybody else felt like that? Yeah. So this theme of tenderness and softness has been coming in really strongly to complement what this phase has actually been about for me, which is fire and a reclamation of my fire, reconnecting to anger in a clean way, as a power source, as a fuel for my work, for my mission, for my love. And as women, this relationship to our anger has got a lot crossed in all of the wires, right? I don't know what stories you're told. Maybe you can jot them in the chat box. What was it like to be angry in your household? What kind of associations do you have with being angry? What did people tell you as a little girl of what it meant to be angry as a woman? You know, it might have been, you know, sit down, be quiet, use your indoor voice, stop whinging, stop complaining, or whatever. So the reclamation of anger is actually a really scary and vulnerable thing to dive into. There's a lot of fear there. But this theme of fire has been coming through really strongly, because when there's fire, when there's heat, it's an opportunity to transmute whatever is not working, to clear space for new growth, for fertility, for a new cycle. And so in a way, when we look at the lunar phases, we get this opportunity every single month. A full moon symbolizes this new beginning, you know, it's at its fullest capacity, it's at its brightest, so it illuminates everything. So if there's something that has been in the shadows for you over the last month that you've kind of pushed aside, you know, every time you've felt that thing creep up, you're like, oh, Instagram, oh, distraction. The full moon is a time when the light is so bright that you have no choice but to see what has been hiding in the shadows. And it's also this opportunity to release and let go of the things that aren't working, and getting really radically honest about those things. So I'm curious to hear from whoever wants to add to the chat box while I'm speaking. Is what does reclaiming your anger, what could reclaiming your anger mean for you? Mean for your sexuality, for your ability to make money, for your ability to express, create, move through the world? What does connecting to your anger mean for you in asking for what you need, for raising the standards of how you're treated? You know, all of these really, really important things that are typically in women, or in the generations of women that have come before us, have been hushed or quieted down. So I invite everybody over, you know, the rest of your day, the rest of your evening, wherever you are, to just play with this idea, to just check in. Am I connected to my anger? How does this show up? Do I, instead of feeling my anger, do I then use it outward on someone as passive aggressiveness, sarcasm, being aggressive or abusive or contempt? Does anger kind of mutate into this unclean way of expressing it because you've held it in and you feel, I know for me, I have felt that my anger is too much and a bit too scary if I were to really give it a voice, because it feels so powerful and so red hot that if I was to give myself full permission, that I would be punching holes in walls and maybe in people. And so that feels really overwhelming, right? And so leaning into the fire with what I said before, the tenderness and the softness, is a way that it balances out. You know, it creates safety for us to feel the fire and to not let ourselves be burned. Oh, yeah, feel that one, Anya. Thank you for contributing to these. So what do we do with it then? What do we do with our anger instead of, letting it come out in these ways that might be not so supportive for our body, like holding it, clenching your jaw, maybe getting a stiff neck. Maybe it manifests as digestive issues because you're holding it in. Maybe you notice that you clench your fists. I wake up in the morning so often with clenched fists like this and like gritting my teeth. Or if you are doing something external with it that maybe it's still harming yourself, but it might be overflowing and harming others. How do we take ownership of our anger when we're afraid of it? It comes back to that simple practice of what we just did, of sitting and being. And it might not be for 20 minutes. We don't all that have that luxury every single time we feel pissed off. But guaranteed there is an opportunity and a space for you to take 1 minute, 2 minutes, the length of a song, to really sit in that fire, and without getting burned, keeping like a little bit of separation and just watching it and letting it do its thing. You know, it has a cycle, and if we suppress the cycle, then it lives in us. But if we have a feeling about the feeling, we judge or we label it, and we're like, oh, anger's here, that's bad, I should be grateful, my life is so good, I should feel this, I should feel that, other people might think this of me. Then we get in the way of that natural cycle finishing itself, completing itself. Our bodies are so wise. So if this particular call will leave you with anything, I wish for you that over the coming month you explore what it is that your body has to say. Because in this world of over-consuming information, of Google being at our fingertips, of email subscriptions and Instagram posts and chatting with our girlfriends, there is so much information coming out into us, when everything we really, really need and everything that we really want is right here. And it takes a lot of courage to clear the space and the noise to be able to drop into that. Just remember that the truth of who you are is just easily accessed at any point in time. You don't need to do anything to remember. You just need to let go of whatever is making you forget.